back for another review of Hip Hop Robot. This week I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers, Hasbro, Beast Hunters, Optimus Prime with Dragon Assault. Yes, with Dragon Assault. This is actually a pretty cool toy, and we'll get into that in a moment, but really looking forward to showing it to you. Also, I want to thank those who have purchased a shirt through the website. Really appreciate that. The link for the order is down below in the description. So again, thank you for buying if you have. Also, just want to say, we've been busy doing a lot of things, so we've gone a couple weeks without a review, but hopefully that shouldn't happen anymore. But basically just been trying to secure some more items to review so you guys can get an idea of these things that are coming out and make a decision whether you want to buy them or not. So thank you, and now we go into the review. First off, we'll go over the packaging. Packaging is very consistent with what we've already seen with the Transformers Beast Hunters line. Same graphics that we've seen before. Biggest thing that's different is obviously the box. The box is huge compared to a Voyager box. And it's designed to allow you to focus and try out the electronic effects, which is a cool addition if you're a kid, trying to convince somebody to buy this for you in the store. Otherwise, we got a lot of the same kind of looks. This design, though, is different from the Voyager CGI model that's on the side. You can tell the same team or group or person did it, but it is a little bit different from the Voyager Optimus Prime. On the sides, you get kind of more of a zoomed out view where you can see the entire body of Optimus. And probably the coolest thing is the back is a bit more action focused, because this has got a lot of action features. This is the whole cell of it. So you get to see how this thing interacts, how the cannons are supposed to work, and just gives you an idea of what you've got in store for if you get this and play with it. Next up, we've got the vehicle mode. The vehicle mode is definitely not very show accurate, but the whole premise of this toy is the features, what they call the Dragon Assault. So to give you an idea how this works, there is an attachment that goes on here that basically gives it a handle to help with the turning. I'm going to leave it off, but basically you turn this and the Dragon Assault blaster turns and will essentially fire the missiles that are attached. I'll put one in here just to give an example. So you turn into position and the missile would fire. Overall, it's still a very cool looking truck mode. The colors are a bit bright as far as the red. Like the red's not a deep red, it's kind of a bit more of a yellowish tint to it. And again, we've got the the green windows that the Hasbro versions seem to have. Other than that, it's interesting. But again, the main thing is the idea of having this is to have this spinning effect with the Dragon Blaster. And from what the instructions call it, cyclona cannons, which is kind of funny, but still, it's a cool toy. I mean, it's big, and the idea that you have these play features on it make it something worth spending time with and having fun with. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it transforms, because the transformation is pretty simple. But one thing I was surprised about that you don't really get from the pictures that have shown up online of it is that this piece is very interesting. This is not one piece. This is two separate pieces. So basically, you push in and push those inward. You're going to pull this down and swing this inward, like so. And then that basically rolls into the back of the legs. You'll need to unlock this, as well as the arms, similar to the Voyager mold. Bring up, bring that into place, twist the legs, and then the rest of it's very similar to the Voyager edition. Pop the head out. You're almost done. And in the back, you're going to pull this up and lock it into place. Last up, the robot mode. So robot mode is pretty huge, and I'll show you a comparison with some of the other Beast Hunters toys here in a moment. But it is still an impressive figure. Again, the red is on a little bit on the orange side, but it's still red. The blues that's used for legs are pretty good. There's aspects to it that make it a bit more show accurate in the proportions versus the Voyager mode. And obviously the Dragon Assault blasters are kind of their own gimmick, but they're still pretty cool. One thing that I want to show you is that the handle, the purpose of this is, number one, to allow the turning action to be a bit more easy, especially for a kid. But also there's a trigger here built into it. So when you press that in, it causes whatever missile is here to fire out. So I'm going to keep it off for my own purpose, but that's basically the reason that handle is there. Comparing this with Voyager Beast Hunters Optimus Prime, and here I've got the Takara version. This will give you more size comparisons. So as you can see, this is a really huge figure compared to the Beast Hunter, what I guess you would call this either leader or supreme class. The boxes really don't denote that anymore, but that's basically what you're looking at. To give you some more size examples, it's hard to say whether this is more show accurate with what we see that happens on the show or not. It would seem like the Voyager is not quite tall enough, but the leader size maybe a bit too tall. But there you have it, just so you can see how that looks. Compared with his Cyberverse version, again, you get a very different version of how they want to show you the transformation and even how the shoulders play out. But still is a cool figure. They definitely dwarf the deluxe figures. And again, it's kind of hard to say whether this size is more in comparison to what we see on the show or the Voyager size. I think maybe something in between would have been better, but again, this is because of all the play features. This tends to be more, targeted toward kids, so it makes sense that they've geared it to a particular size and, focus on the play features. Compared to some of our larger Transformers, definitely not the biggest, but it's respectably large. But compared to something like Fortress Maximus, he's not that big. Definitely thinking about how large the new Metroplex is coming out this year. Again, just gives you kind of an idea of what the size is for this toy. But other than that, it's a very cool figure. Reading the booklets, we know that these are the Cyclo cannons, the Dragon Assault cannon. So, it's definitely a very fun toy, very cool toy. It's got still the right amount of detail that makes this collectible, makes it, fun to have. The only thing, another thing that I find a little off is maybe the accessories, because this sword is obviously something that maybe a kid shouldn't have, where we've had over the years with Transformers dealt with the short smokestacks on the G1 Optimus. Seeing something like this on a toy that's definitely meant for kids makes you wonder, really what the safety rules are meant for. It is pretty cool. This shield, as you see, can be worn on the side. It can also be held in hand in the front. Again, cool. We don't really know yet whether these elements are going to show up in the show at all or not, but still it makes it, gives it more play value and gives you more things to do with it. Alright, so there you have it. Transformers, Beast Hunters, Optimus Prime with, yes, the Dragon Assault. Very cool toy. Not what I would normally expect as far as toys and Hasbro goes. It has some things that are not quite as cool as what they could be, but overall this has been a very cool toy to have, very cool figure, and definitely worth having in your collection. So thank you for watching, and see you next week.